Mushroom farming is one of the most promising agribusiness opportunities in Kenya today. It does not require a large piece of land, making it a good choice for people living in towns and rural areas. You can grow mushrooms inside a small room, a simple shed, or a well-prepared mushroom house. As more Kenyans become interested in healthy eating, the demand for fresh mushrooms continues to increase. Restaurants, hotels, supermarkets, grocery shops, and individual consumers buy mushrooms throughout the year. If managed well, mushroom farming can become a profitable full-time business or an extra source of income. The first step is to understand the different types of mushrooms grown in Kenya. Oyster mushrooms are the best choice for beginners because they grow quickly, require less complicated management, and perform well under Kenyan conditions. They also need a smaller investment compared to some other varieties. Button mushrooms are another popular type, but they require stricter control of temperature, humidity, and growing conditions. Shiitake mushrooms are also grown by some farmers, although they usually need more specialized knowledge and have a smaller market. Starting with oyster mushrooms allows you to gain experience before expanding into other varieties. Before investing your money, take time to study mushroom farming. Attend training sessions offered by agricultural organizations, universities, county governments, or experienced mushroom farmers. Practical training helps you understand how to prepare growing materials, maintain cleanliness, control humidity, harvest correctly, and avoid common mistakes. Learning from experienced farmers can save you from expensive losses that many beginners experience. One of the biggest advantages of mushroom farming is that it does not require fertile farmland. You only need a clean growing room that can maintain the right temperature and humidity. The room should be protected from direct sunlight, heavy rain, insects, rodents, and strong winds. Many successful farmers convert unused rooms, stores, garages, or simple structures into mushroom-growing houses. The room should also have enough ventilation because mushrooms require fresh air while growing. Cleanliness is one of the most important requirements in mushroom farming. Mushrooms easily suffer from contamination caused by bacteria, mold, and other fungi. Before bringing any growing materials into the room, clean the walls, floor, shelves, and equipment thoroughly. Workers should also maintain good hygiene by washing their hands and keeping equipment clean. A dirty growing room can destroy an entire crop within a short time. The next step is to buy high-quality mushroom spawn. Spawn is similar to seed in ordinary farming. Good spawn produces healthy mushrooms, while poor quality spawn often leads to low yields or contamination. Always buy spawn from trusted suppliers, research institutions, universities, or licensed mushroom producers. Avoid buying cheap spawn from unknown sellers, because poor quality spawn can waste all your investment. Mushrooms do not grow in ordinary soil like vegetables. Instead, they grow on a material known as substrate. Oyster mushrooms commonly grow on chopped straw, sawdust, cotton waste, maize cobs, or other agricultural waste materials. The substrate must be prepared carefully to remove harmful microorganisms. Most farmers pasteurize the substrate by heating it in hot water before allowing it to cool. This process helps reduce contamination and creates a healthy environment for mushroom growth. After preparing the substrate, it is mixed with mushroom spawn inside clean plastic growing bags. The bags are then sealed, and small holes are made to allow air movement. These bags are placed on shelves inside the mushroom house during the incubation stage. During this period, the mushroom mycelium spreads through the substrate. The bags should remain in a clean environment with suitable temperatures until they become fully colonized with white mycelium. Humidity plays a major role in mushroom production. Mushrooms require moist conditions throughout their growing period. Farmers usually spray water inside the growing room to increase humidity, but they should avoid pouring water directly onto developing mushrooms. Too much water can encourage diseases, while too little water slows mushroom growth. Regular monitoring helps maintain the right balance. Temperature is another important factor. Oyster mushrooms generally perform well under moderate temperatures, while button mushrooms require cooler conditions. If temperatures become too high, mushroom growth slows down and diseases become more common. Farmers living in warmer parts of Kenya may need to improve ventilation, use shade, or choose cooler rooms to maintain suitable growing conditions. Fresh air is equally important. Mushrooms release carbon dioxide while growing. Without enough ventilation, the mushrooms may develop long stems and small caps, reducing their market value. Proper ventilation allows fresh air to enter while maintaining the necessary humidity inside the growing room. Good airflow also helps reduce the spread of diseases. Lighting requirements depend on the stage of growth. During incubation, the growing bags are usually kept in darkness or low light. Once mushrooms begin forming, indirect natural light is usually enough. Direct sunlight should be avoided because it dries the mushrooms and damages their quality. Most oyster mushrooms are ready for harvesting about 1 month after spawning, although the exact period depends on temperature, humidity, and management. Harvest mushrooms before the caps begin releasing spores. Hold the entire mushroom cluster gently and twist it from the growing bag instead of cutting individual mushrooms. Proper harvesting helps protect future flushes and maintains product quality. One growing bag can produce several harvests before the substrate is exhausted. After each harvest, continue maintaining proper humidity and cleanliness to encourage the next flush. When production finally declines, the used substrate should be removed from the growing room. Many farmers use spent substrate as compost or organic manure for vegetable farming. Packaging is another important part of the business. Fresh mushrooms are highly perishable and should be handled carefully. Clean packaging improves appearance and attracts buyers. Transparent food-grade containers or perforated plastic bags are commonly used. Store harvested mushrooms in cool conditions and deliver them to customers as quickly as possible to maintain freshness. Finding a reliable market should begin even before starting production. Many beginners produce mushrooms first and then struggle to find buyers. A better approach is to identify customers in advance. Hotels, restaurants, supermarkets, grocery stores, vegetable vendors, hospitals, schools, and health-conscious households are among the biggest buyers. Some farmers also sell directly through social media, farmers markets, and home delivery services. Building long-term relationships with buyers creates a steady income. The amount of money required to start depends on the size of your project. A small beginner's mushroom farm using an existing room may require between about 20,000 Kenya shillings and 80,000 Kenya shillings for shelves, growing bags, substrate, spawn, cleaning materials, and basic equipment. Larger commercial farms that require purpose-built mushroom houses, environmental control systems, and more growing bags may require several 100,000 Kenya shillings or more. Starting small allows you to learn without exposing yourself to unnecessary financial risk. Income depends on production, market prices, and management. Fresh oyster mushrooms commonly sell for several hundred Kenya shillings per kilogram, with higher prices often available when selling directly to consumers, hotels, or specialty markets. Farmers who maintain good quality, consistent supply, and strong customer relationships usually earn better returns than those who depend entirely on middlemen. Adding value through drying, packaging, or processing can also increase profits and reduce losses from unsold fresh mushrooms. Like every farming business, mushroom farming has risks. Poor hygiene, contaminated spawn, excessive heat, low humidity, pests, diseases, and poor marketing can reduce profits. Power interruptions may also affect larger farms that depend on environmental control equipment. Fortunately, most of these challenges can be reduced through proper training, careful management, and regular monitoring of the growing room. Keeping good business records is very important. Record all expenses, sales, production volumes, customer information, and profits. These records help you know whether your business is growing and where improvements are needed. They also make it easier to apply for loans or attract investors if you decide to expand. As your experience increases, you can gradually increase production by adding more growing bags, building larger mushroom houses, employing workers, or supplying bigger buyers. Some farmers eventually produce their own spawn after gaining advanced technical knowledge, while others focus on supplying fresh mushrooms to supermarkets and food processing companies. Mushroom farming offers an excellent opportunity for Kenyan youth, women, retirees, and entrepreneurs looking for a profitable agribusiness that requires limited space. Success depends more on knowledge, cleanliness, consistency, and proper management than on owning large amounts of land. By starting small, learning continuously, maintaining high-quality standards, and developing reliable markets, you can build a sustainable mushroom farming business that generates income throughout the year while meeting the growing demand for healthy food in Kenya.